Hello, and welcome back to Ghost Trick. Let's continue. Chapter 15, 2:55 a.m. 10 years ago, a man named Sissel took a little girl named Lynn hostage, and then was killed by a meteorite fragment. Tonight, a man named Sissel met a detective named Lynn at a junkyard on the edge of town, and then was killed by a bullet. But the scene I find waiting for me on the other end of the phone line feels like the final nail in the coffin of my lost memory. I see myself. There you are, Commander Sith. Finally.
Sissel, my good man. We've been looking everywhere for you.
Had a little unfinished business to take care of. Didn't think it would take this long. What about your people? They sure went out of the way to mess me up.
I say, I believe we fulfilled every one of your little conditions in our little deal.
What right do you have to complain about anything outside our bargain? We can talk about that when we get together later.
This will be our last communication by phone.
We'll arrive in 1 hour. I look forward to seeing you, Sissel. Dawn is approaching. The darkness surrounding my own mystery is deep, and I know it's always darkest before dawn.
Yes, we're nearing the final stages of our little deal, my good man.
Yes, sir. All preparations are complete, sir. And we just had a report, sir. Lights have been spotted, sir.
Have they now? By all means, let me have a look. Yes, we're very close.
We will now disconnect from the communication cable and have no service until we arrive, sir.
Very well.
Nice try, Inspector Cabanella. But you could never stop me. See ya, sucker. Trick time. So, that submarine guy and his people have a deal going with me, do they? If that's the case, they probably aren't the ones who killed me, right? Anyway, there's definitely something behind the inspector's death. I think I better talk to him. Did not intend that. Hey, do you think you could wake up for me? Oh boy, still unconscious, eh? I guess he hasn't been dead for very long then. I'll just go ahead and go back to 4 minutes before his death. I'm a little nervous about what I might see there, though. But if that's where I'm going to find my answers, I can't just run away from it. 4 minutes before death. Once the criminal gets the punishment he deserves, the hostage will go free. Carry out the execution immediately and wait for our call. That's a good boy. Gee, a hostage sure is a handy thing. Gives me complete control over the top police inspector in the country. What's the matter? All those broken bones smart a bit. What's it like to feel pain? Does it make you feel alive? Why are you doing this? Now, is that any kind of question for a top inspector to ask? Isn't it obvious? Revenge, of course. Revenge on all the people who stole my life away 10 years ago. Don't be ridiculous. It was a meteorite that stole your life, or have you forgotten that? Wrong! I was murdered by all of you! Detective Jode, who chased me down and forced me into a corner, even though I was innocent. Lynn, the girl who was right there while I was running. Lynn? She was just an innocent little girl playing in the park. If that brat hadn't been there, I never would have thought of taking a hostage. That's the most self-centered garbage I've ever heard. And finally you, Inspector Cabanella. Me? If you hadn't done what you did, I never would have pointed a gun at that kid. You were so proud of your spotless record. And my case was the one blot on it, wasn't it? Only 2 people knew the real truth. Me and Detective Jode. I bet tonight's execution will be quite a relief to you, won't it? One of the people who know about the stain on your record will disappear for good. And that's why you didn't help him escape from prison. That's the kind of guy you are. I got nothing to say to you. You never listen anyway. Ye gods! Now then, Inspector. Time to make a big red stain on your spotless white coat. This was another condition of my deal. To wipe out everybody who knew about Temzik. Revenge? That's what I'm up to? None of this makes any sense. Hey, man. Mind telling me what's going on? Inspector Cabanella? He's awake. My head is spinning, baby. Am I to understand that Cabanella character who just got shot is me? Yeah, that's right. And you're supposed to be the scoundrel there who just shot me. I guess so. But you couldn't be, could you? Huh? After all, the guy in the red suit just walked out the door, right? So, who are you? I guess I just have to face it. I'm not that Sissel guy. I'm somebody who's searching for himself. That's why I'm here to save you. At the very least, you have information about the red guy in red. Information I need. So you came here on a rescue mission now, did you? Nothing like the sound of that, baby. Because there's a very important life here somewhere. A life valuable to this nation. Okay, so do your thing, baby. trick time. So, you a manipulator too? I have ghost tricks, powers of the dead, yeah, but I can't control living creatures. Anywho, I think you better be very careful. That guy in red is a manipulator. Naturally, he knows about powers like yours. If he realizes you're here, things might get a little sticky. You're right. I better be careful. Just for shits and giggles, I'm going to mess up. Show you what happens if you do. Look at him. There's that something emanating from his body. Is it really the sign of having special powers of the dead? What's going on? I've never seen the ghost world like this. So you're here, are you? He sensed my presence? I noticed you. You think you can stop me, do you? I don't know why you're wearing my face, but you might as well give up now. I control everything. Damn it. Everything, including the life of this police inspector in white. Oh, wait, don't shoot! Time's up. This other me knows the powers of the dead well. Who wouldn't notice what you did? You were practically shouting, "Look at me, baby!" Looks like it might be hard to save you under these circumstances. I guess I can't use my powers right in front of him like that. Guess I better rewind the clock again and see if I can pick up any other clues. So then, for reals now. Time is passing. Look at this place. What in the world happened here? I think I'm starting to remember. Something bad happened here, and now there's another death lying hidden here. What? Another death? Didn't I tell you from the start? Didn't I say there was a very important life, valuable to the nation here? I thought you were talking about you. I'm just a crazy character in a white coat, baby. Hey, come to think of it, where is that old pigeon guy? Excuse me. Are you awake? Of course. I never sleep during work hours. Professor, do you recognize me? There's only one crazy character in a white coat that I know of. He hasn't lost his memory. I'm not the type who likes losing things. But never mind that.
Cabanilla, this is quite a surprising guest you brought with you.
I can't do this right.
Pretending like he didn't just blow up the place.
Are you talking about me? Oh, this is a different guy, and I'm his guest, actually. He said he came to rescue us. Unlike you, my shop friend, he still hasn't gotten his memory back. Pitiful. Ouch, that hurts. Anyway, now we'll be going back to 4 minutes before your death in order to change your fate, that is. But aren't we already in the past, man? But we can go back even further. I've done it before. I still don't see a path to saving Inspector Cabanella, but if we go back further, maybe I'll find a lead. Rewind in time. How many times do I have to tell you, Professor, this place is dangerous?
Don't be daft. I can't leave now. He's completely dead, but just as I thought, I'm getting a reading. This is the source of his powers. If I remove it...
He's not dead. He's just not there. If the true form of the manipulator isn't something you can detect, it's a spirit.
Ridiculous.
So you figured it all out, huh? You're a clever man, Inspector Cabanella.
Whoa, so it's really true.
I wasted a lot of time tonight because of you, Inspector. But it's all just like you said. I died 10 years ago. This body is just a vessel. A shell. I control everything. This shell, people, just like I controlled the Justice Minister and Lynn.
So it's true. You manipulated my baby that time? You made her shoot your shell. Why? Why would you do such a thing?
To create conclusive evidence, you know, on that security tape. Now she's a murderer too. She'll suffer just like Joe did. Now then, Professor, I'm afraid it's time for you to die. I don't have any grudge against you. I'm even grateful to you.
Oh yeah? Why don't you just let me live then?
I'll be leaving this country forever tonight, but before I do, I need to erase all evidence that these powers of mine exist. Along with his contraption, of course. This time, the thing will work the way it was meant to, and it'll be all over. Cupid won't turn this time. He'll shoot his little arrow this way.
Professor, look out!
I can't do that. Dynamite, eh? When did the devil did he put I can't do it right. He planned it all out tonight. Having my baby shoot him. Having his corpse disappear. His corpse? Disappeared? That medical examiner. Remember him? He was a complete and utter imposter. He said he was gonna take the corpse back to the lab, but he'd already made a deal with the manipulator to meet him and give him the body back. But I wasn't gonna let that happen, baby.
You saw through his plan, eh? I noticed right away the medical examiner didn't know the first thing about examining the body. I knew he was fake, so I tracked him down and brought him off. Bought him off? I had him smuggle the corpse to this room. I thought we could find the source of his powers. Of course, never in my wildest dreams did I think his abilities were powers of the dead. Anyway, there isn't much time. He's leaving the country before dawn. I'm gonna follow him, of course, after I save you two. But something's been nagging at the back of my mind. I remember what Ray said to me tonight. He said that spirits cease to exist when the day breaks. But if that's true, how could a spirit from 10 years ago still be here? No time for thinking, baby. Action is the name of the game. Work your magic and take us back, even further into the past. Trick time. Alright, man. Jump in there and stop the explosion, would you? Easy enough for you to say. Foolish of you to say, too. If you stop the explosion, you'll just do me in some other way. Fair enough. Then jump in there and take care of that man in red, would you? I repeat, easy enough for you to say, and most likely impossible to boot. The huge explosion didn't even make him bat an eye. Well, what do you propose then, Professor? Pray tell. Your best bet is to save me during the explosion without him noticing. Easy enough for you to say. Sheesh, what's with all you people? Anywho, jump in there and do something. Fool! What do you think you're doing? I just thought I'd try it out. If you do, you're going to set the contraption in motion. Oh, yeah. I just thought. He just thought he'd blow me up, is what he thought. Oops, that was my bad. But there aren't a whole lot of things I can use my tricks on in this room. Ridiculous. I'll be leaving this country forever tonight, but before I do, I need to erase all evidence that these powers of mine exist, along with the contraption in this room. As you have already perhaps noticed, time is running out, baby. Yeah, no perhaps about it, I know. But you know, there aren't a whole lot of things I can use my ghost tricks on here. It looks like it's all over. Unless I find another path, I'm sort of at a deadlock here. Sissel! Hey, I know that voice. Help me! Where are you? Find me! Before I'm carried away! What's with the frail sounding call for help? He's here somewhere. A friend of yours? Yep, a little guy who looks a little fragile but has strength that'd surprise you. Well, he's asking you to find him. And before he's carried away, know this. And I'm out of time. Should I look for him? If I can stop this toy from spinning, I can halt the contraption, but that won't really solve anything. There's a smart boy. If you stop the explosion, he'll just find another way to get me. And it would probably give away the fact that you're here, too. So I have to rescue you without stopping the explosion. Is that even possible? That's what has to be done. Deal with it. Get over there. Now, how can I do that?
Cecil!
There he is again.
Farewell!
Sounds like your little pal was carried away. Where was he? Maybe you should have tried to find him somehow. Maybe you should have looked around, you know? From corner to corner, baby. Now what? Maybe I should start over? Yeah, I gotta figure out where it was. I remember there was a way to do this, but what was it? Trick time. Down here is where I'm going. What in the world is this thing? This device has that meteorite data entered into it. If it detects Temsic radiation, it responds. Got that, kid? Isn't it a lovely thing? I guess sometimes it's important not to think about things too much. What a sorry pair. No use, I can't open it. Could the fact that the professor is standing on it have anything to do with it? I may look small, but I'm pretty heavy set. Sounds so proud of that fact, too. This door, such a pity. Too bad it doesn't open downward. Sometimes life can be so hard, wouldn't you agree, Professor? Yeah, that's why we're both dead. Door that opens downward, eh? I'll be leaving this country forever tonight, but before I do, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Ah! How do I do this?
Sissel! Here I am! So I just had to move the camera, huh? Oh, hey, it's... Missile! What are you doing here? Do you really have to ask? Seriously, are you really going there? No, that's okay, never mind. Anyway, I need your powers. Will you help me out? Of course! Here, let me come join you. Okay, here I am, Sissel. Now maybe things will flow in a new direction. Even though the flow of the sewer is a little bit stinky. Fate changed. Trick time. Do you remember how to use my powers? Yeah, I can swap things with the same shape, right? Well, to be precise, I can swap things that look like they have the same shape. What's the difference? I was being carried by the wind and realized into the river. When I fell into the river, I realized something. If you look at things from different angles, it looks different. You know, that's a pretty good point for a little doggy who came in with the sewage. Squeaky guys are making a fuss about something. Sissel, my animal instincts are starting to surface. If you mean you want to chase them, I think you have to be alive to do that. Must be some kind of rat feast in that trash can. Those things usually make a bigger commotion than that. Bigger commotion, eh? Okay, let's stop that explosion. No, we can't do that. Okay, let's take care of that man in red, then. No, we can't do that either. We can't do this, we can't do that. Well, what can we do? We have to let the explosion happen. Then we rescue the old pigeon guy without the red man noticing. Your powers are the key to it all, Missile. Oh, I don't know about that, but I'll do my best. We're talking about a matter of seconds. We can't miss our chance. That's what I'd call some proper commotion. They're making that trash can dance. Truth be told, I feel a bit like dancing now myself. It's getting harder and harder to hold back my wild instincts. What a dangerous bunch. Trick time. Till death, 0. Look out! Sorry, little pigeon. As for you, Inspector, I have a little job for you. I can't move. I think I have 4 or 5 broken bones. I don't mind. That won't prevent me from manipulating you. It might make it hurt a little bit when you move, though. Actually, quite a bit. Damn you! Ugh.
I can't believe it. You lot actually pulled it off.
Sorry, Inspector Cabanella. I couldn't do anything to help you.
And there I am, poor broken heap of arms and legs. But no matter, I enjoyed the show. The magic disappearing act, that is. Nothing like it, baby. Yeah, except, unlike a normal magic trick, I'm the one that managed to vanish without a trace here. New info has been added. Fate averted. What's the matter? You look like you'd rather be dead, not that you aren't. I'm just remembering the fact that right about now, the real me is giving the poor Justice Minister a real fright. On that phone call, yeah, he was pretty upset. Excuse me, mister. You really shouldn't be mean like that. And what's this lively little creature? Oh, this little doggy is the warrior that keeps Camila safe. Or he would be if he was actually still full of life. Camila. Gods in heaven, what a terrible thing. Poor little girl, taken hostage. It's a cruel twist of fate indeed. Wait a minute! This Camila is a hostage? Yes, we're sorry, little warrior. Miss Camila, a hostage? What's a hostage? Anyway, Inspector Cabanella, it's time to save your life now. But you couldn't get very far when you tried before, am I right? But this time it's different, right, Sissel? That's right. With us working together, it's a whole different situation. We'll save the Inspector in white, and then we'll go rescue Camila, okay? Okay, let's hurry up and get through this. Gee, kids, you're making me feel like an afterthought. Alright, let's get started. Inspector Cabanella is upstairs, so our first step is to get up there. Sissel, I'll go first and wait for you. Okay, lovey-dove, we need your help. Carry this measuring device upstairs. It has Mr. Ghost in it, so don't drop it. Trick time. You got grit, little pigeon. I better get up there before the little pigeon's strength gives out. Missile's waiting for me. I better hurry. There you are, Sissel! Sorry for the wait, Missile. 4 minutes from now, the Inspector will be killed by a gun. You just jump in there and stop him from firing it, would you? There you go again with that stuff. Besides, it doesn't make any sense. If you stop him from firing, he'll just kill you some other way. Wait a minute, that sounds familiar. Yep, same situation as mine. Your best bet this time round is to allow him to shoot and then save Cabanella without him noticing. Yeah, it's even worse than the last time. Anywho, jump in there and do something. Okay, I'm ready to jump in, Sissel. Don't forget, whenever you want to use my powers, touch the missile icon. Oh, did you see that? That bad Sissel turned around. Do you have to call him that? But yeah, maybe this is our chance to try some ghost tricks. This is the only time he takes his eyes off me, too. If you have something to do, do it now. Time to take the first steps towards saving the Inspector.
What was that? Trick time. Whoa, utter silence. Never mind, I lied.
Yikes! I'm a little scared right now. Why didn't he die?
Because he's already dead. He died 10 years ago. I knew full well he wouldn't die if I shot him. Then why'd you go to the trouble of shooting him at all?
Time's almost up. Enough chit-chat.
But now the situation has changed slightly. These last split seconds are our chance.
Well, would you look at that? Right on the hook!
I love knit hats. So warm and most of all, soft.
Hey, now that I'm looking at it, that hat is the same shape as the helmet you just knocked down.
Aha! I thought so. This was another condition of my deal. To wipe out everybody who knew about Temzik.
He's gonna shoot. It's too late.
Again? I'm gonna get shot again? No, wait, our chance is coming up.
The last split second, right? Leave it to me. Would you look at that? The bullet is hanging in midair between the gun and the inspector's forehead. Now's our chance. I'm hearing the bullet right now. Let's swap this little thing with something else.
What? It's our only hope. There's gotta be something here with the same shape and direction as the bullet.
I never saw a bullet before. It has such a cute little shape, doesn't it?
I can check out the bullet's shape on the top screen. Okay, got it. Now I know what it's shaped like. It's funny when you make it the top hat, or the hard hat hit him. It's like, smash face in. I think you can find that on YouTube, too.
I don't think he noticed. Looks like he pulled off another magic disappearing act.
And now I say again, I love knit hats. So warm and most of all, soft.
Did I do all right? You did a fine job, little one. You saved another life. And I'll keep doing it, too. Over and over.
Fate averted. What I saw just these 4 minutes gave me all the answers I've been looking for. All our research these past 10 years pales in comparison, right, Professor? So you two were working together? That's about the size of it, yeah. Who would believe a story about a manipulator? So we pursued it ourselves, just the two of us.
I'm quite a crazy character myself, after all. Okay, let's hurry back to our time. We have to rescue Camila.
You're right, Missile. And there's a certain guy I have to follow, too. After completing his revenge on Inspector Cavanella, the man in red left, and now a new story is about to unfold, in a new present.
How are you feeling, you old crazy character? Hey there, Prof, we're both alive, I see. Yeah, nothing like it, baby. But I don't know if I'm getting old or what. I got a few aches and pains here and there. Used to be a little thing like an explosion wouldn't bother me. Yeah, right, like I'm gonna believe that. So what? The guy in red is gone, eh? Just in case, I posted special investigation units all around the building. Let's just pray the boys came through for us. Damn it, you picked a bad time not to listen to me, body of mine. Trick time. Well, it looks like both of their deaths were erased. Unfortunately, in the case of the Inspector in white, I can't call it a complete success. But in any case, these two have the information I need to start tracking the manipulator. I better start talking to them.
Alright, Sissel, it's time to go out into the big wide world to rescue Miss Camila.
Hold on a minute, Missile. I have to talk to these two first.
Oh, okay, I understand. But just know one thing. I go where the wind takes me.
Is this little druggy trying to put pressure on me? Mr. Superintendent, do you mind if I talk to you for a minute?
I haven't always been a junkyard superintendent, you know? I used to be part of the police.
The police, huh?
Not as a detective, but as a medical examiner. I investigated victims' cause of death. "10 years ago, I was asked to autopsy a strange corpse. Hit by a meteorite fragment and died instantly. That's what the police report said. There were no signs of life. He was definitely dead. But I never filed an autopsy report. That's because the corpse suddenly vanished, leaving behind only one clue. An unusual corpse. I bet that's what I've been chasing all night. Could you tell me more? Yeah, sure. I've an interest in you recovering your memory and finding your true identity, too. That's the only way I can describe it. It was an unusual corpse. He was dead, alright, no question about that, but there wasn't a scratch on him. Not a scratch, but I thought he was hit by a meteorite fragment. I don't understand it any more than you do. I was completely bewildered, but when I tried to autopsy him, I was even more puzzled. I couldn't perform an autopsy. You couldn't? What do you mean? The scalpel went in, but it wouldn't cut. As soon as I tried to make an incision, it would heal up in the next very instant. And that's how it went. And no scarring. Or blood, either. And I never had the chance to solve the mystery. That's because the corpse up and vanished on us. The morgue is very well guarded. Nobody could have stolen that body. But there's one way the corpse could have disappeared. And what's that? If it got up, opened the door and walked out. What? He was dead, but he wasn't dead.
We saw it with our own eyes tonight. Not even the explosion could kill him. And he didn't feel a thing when he slammed his fist on that stove. The corpse left behind some data from some testing I did. I got some readings from some kind of radiation coming off that body. Radiation? I used all kinds of instruments and I couldn't determine exactly what kind of radiation it was. Some undiscovered type from a world unknown. Wait a minute, could it be? That's right, it was coming from that meteorite fragment. I went to the park and tested the spot where the meteorite fell. And just as I suspected, I detected radiation coming from that crater. It was the exact same pattern of radiation as that of the corpse. At the time, I thought he was some kind of immortal being. He would die only to come back to life. I wanted to research it in depth, so I quit my job as a police medical examiner. Several years later, I came to learn the connection between my research and the manipulator's case, thanks to the arrival of this crazy character here. Sorry. Oh, stop, Professor. Do you wanna see me blush? It was about a year ago, I'd say. That man in white came dancing into my research lab here. I heard there was an oddball here who's researching Temzik. Is that you, baby? Who are you calling an oddball? I was investigating the manipulator case then, and then I heard there was a man who'd quit the police force to study the meteorite. When I heard that, it was like a meteorite had struck me on the head. At the time, we were just starting to get leads on this manipulator. We didn't know who he was yet, but we knew he was communicating with a certain foreign country. In one of those communications, we heard the manipulator say this: "The source of my power is not of this world." And that's when I put 2 and 2 together, baby. The manipulator case and Temzik are somehow connected. Which also explains how 5 years ago, he used his powers to manipulate a birthday surprise a little girl made for her mother. He addressed that gun to the contraption, added that gun to the contraption, most likely by controlling Camila. If I knew things were going to end up like this, I would have tried to die in that explosion, baby. That way I could have been dancing after Big Red by now. One moment, I'm getting a call.
Well then, I'm back. I might be able to erase deaths, but it's true I can't do much about injuries. But really, you shouldn't talk that way. Yeah, I'm sorry, I suppose you're right. I just hate feeling so helpless. He was right there, within my grasp. All our plans were resting on tonight, and then this had to happen. I guess he's thinking of his spotless record. It's not too late, Inspector. We still have a chance. Maybe I can catch him. Say, you're right. That's not a bad idea. I'll cooperate with you fully. Go ahead and fire away with any questions you like, Mr. Ghost. That guy mentioned revenge. Revenge against the people who stole his life away 10 years ago.
He's a fool. He's the one who made the decision to take that little girl hostage, and he wound up dead. He only has himself to blame. But what about when he said this? I was murdered! By all of you! Inspector Jode, who forced me into a corner. Lynn, the girl who was playing at the park. And finally you, Inspector Cabanella. If you hadn't done what you did, I never would have pointed a gun at that kid. Yeah, 10 years ago, on that day, the Special Investigation Unit was working on a certain big case. We hauled in a young man, an important witness to our investigation. And then I did it. I made 2 very stupid mistakes. Detective, I'm telling you, I don't know anything about it. Fine, fine. You're under no obligation to talk, of course. But if you don't, the Special Investigation Unit can make the rest of your life a living hell. No. But I'd just been assigned to the Special Investigation Unit, you see? They didn't share much info on big cases with a newbie like that. And I wanted to impress him. It was only supposed to be a simple matter of taking his statement, but I was too green. I pushed him too hard. I drove him into a corner and made him lose all hope. It was my first mistake. Then I made another mistake on top of that. Cabanella, got a minute? The chief wants to see you about your report. Got it. I'll be right there. You stay right here. Be a good boy now. And that's when I did it. I left it behind in the interrogation room. My gun. How could you? He used my gun to escape. What he said is true. If I hadn't made that mistake, he never would have had a gun to point at Lynn in the first place. We first found out about the manipulator's existence over a certain overseas communication. Overseas communication? For national security purposes, this country keeps tabs on the communications networks. This particular communication was about making a deal with a certain foreign country. He said he wanted them to buy him and his powers. That's how we first heard of him. Of course, we didn't know what he looked like at the time, and in order to prove these powers of his, he gave them 2 predictions. He foresaw 2 completely preposterous, impossible cases. The case of a man who would sing national secrets during a live rock concert broadcast, and the case of a man who would take the chief commissioner hostage in his own office. Those 2 inmates of the special prison, eh? We kept tabs on their communications and launched an investigation. Then finally we pinpointed where they were going to meet tonight and staked it out. That restaurant, the Chicken Kitchen. The manipulator plans on leaving this country tonight on a submarine that belongs to the other country in this deal. Submarine? But we haven't been able to find out where it's going to surface. It's terrifying to think of what would happen if his powers were to fall into their hands. Right. Highly unlikely they'd use them for peaceful purposes. And now they have that little girl as a hostage. Camila. We have to stop him before he leaves the country. This spotless record of yours, is it really that important to you? Of course, baby. In some ways, it's more important to me than my life. Than your life, eh? After all, it's because of my record that I'm able to get my hands on all intel as head of the Special Investigation Unit. And because of my position, I get to direct all aspects of the investigation into the manipulator case. The manipulator case? That's why you cared about your record so much? Of course.
Why else, baby? I mean, I just never could believe it, man. Jode shooting Alma? I didn't care what he confessed. That was definitely something more to the story, something secret. I did everything I could to climb the ladder, everything in my power. And then I finally found the answer. Took 5 long years, though. The manipulator, he's going to prove that Jode is innocent. What incredible determination. There's one thing I just don't understand. You were so determined to help Jode. Why didn't you help him escape from prison? That's an easy one, baby. Escaping from prison is a crime. I wasn't about to help him commit a crime after spending 5 years trying to prove him innocent. And he himself has to be executed, you know? As a man of the law, I had to make sure the execution was stopped legally. And that's why I brought him before the Justice Minister, too. I needed to buy as much time as I possibly could, baby. So that's it, huh? But here's one little unfortunate result of all this. Lynn completely misunderstood your intentions. What's a little misunderstanding? My baby will come around, give it time. But there are more important things to do with our time tonight. So the contraption in the basement here, you built that to try to help Detective Jode? That's right. Jode and I worked together back when I was in the force. I used the reports of his case to try and recreate the device, but there was just one part of it that I couldn't reproduce no matter how hard I tried. Camila told Jode it did something it shouldn't have, an impossible move. I added that part to the device I recreated. I put in a part that would allow Cupid to rotate, otherwise the gun wouldn't fire. So that must mean somebody manipulated Camila's contraption. As a result, we proved to ourselves that the manipulator actually existed. Inspector Cabanella! Hey, baby. Sorry about that phone call. I must have sounded like a real villain. I hated to spoil your image of me. Of that cool cat inspector you always looked up to. Is that really the image she had of him? Inspector Cabanella, I'm sorry, I just heard you were chasing after that man all this time to try and help Detective Jode. This manipulator is such a dangerous character. I was hoping you didn't have to be involved. So that's why you had me arrested tonight, isn't it? Like I always say, if somebody's in the way, throw 'em in the slammer. Yikes. Tonight. I finally thought we had him. But my body gave out on me right at the critical moment. It's like a cruel joke. But a joke is a joke. You might as well laugh. Jode! The minister called off the execution order, and while he was at it, he let Detective Jode go free until tomorrow morning, too. That's a pretty extreme while he was at it. Sorry I took so long to get here. You can leave the rest to me. There you go again. You've always been like that. You make everybody else run around, and then you swoop in at the last second. Jode. 5 years ago, you left this coat with me just before you turned yourself in. And once again, I've got a phone call. Just a moment. I promise to give it back to you one day. Waiting so long, Detective Jode. Waiting for this day to come. Thanks for not giving up on me, Lynn.
I'm off there.
Good luck, my old friend.
This present you gave me is just what I needed. Thank you.
Glad you like it. Sissel, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
You and I have to go find that man. I need your help. Will you do this with me?
Sure, but how? We don't know where the submarine is and the phone line doesn't work.
They use communication cables to make their talks. I'm sure we'll get you hooked up somehow. You'll see. Could you wait here until we do, please?
Okay, fine. I'm counting on you.
This true self you're looking for. I bet you'll find it soon. Alright, I'm leaving, Inspector Cabanella.
It's almost dawn. I'm not who I thought I was. I'm actually further from knowing who I am than ever.
But now, I don't feel so alone. For each one of us, for his or her own reasons, is looking for the truth. Together, I think we can shed light on these mysteries and drive away the darkness.
But it's almost dawn.
So, who is Sissel? How are they going to find whatever submarine? I mean, it's underwater. How are they going to connect to a landline? Questions that'll probably never be answered on Ghost Trek. See ya.